Interesting. I have not seen this page before. Aha! That's what we were looking for. What up, Winter Circle? Here we are. Hump Day. We are hanging out. Oh, alright. So, for today's midweek chill sesh, whatever it is that I put on there, we're taking it easy. We are taking it easy. I'm going to be doing some creative and practicing some build fight stuff. And then we'll switch over to Rocket League, and I'll probably do some training in there. So we'll do about an hour of each. Getting right in here to the Fortnite creative mode to start. So hope the week's going well so far. We're halfway done, ladies and gents. Oh, hello. Hello, lag. Hello. So a lot of the reason I'm kind of taking it easy on Wednesdays is, as we all know, Fortnite and Rocket League are quite competitive games, and I don't know if mentally I can handle every day, you know, running it in the lobbies and whatnot. So Wednesdays, for the most part, you know, there of course there will probably be exceptions, but for the most part, Wednesdays are going to be doing some training mode stuff. So this is definitely an important component of getting better. Is kind of this, you know, while that can sometimes be menial, this practice side of things. So gonna be running through some build fight stuff. I will be explaining some of the some of the higher level moves that at least I know how to do in creative mode. I can assure you that executing most of these in game is a bit out of reach at this point, but it's been quite some time since I've done, you know, consistent creative mode, so it could be in reach in a couple weeks. Who knows? Who knows? But it is kind of fun, I think, to play around with some of this stuff, and like I said, there are some higher level build moves. I guess you can't mantle in. I guess you can't. Weird. Definitely some higher level moves, if you will, when it comes to build fighting that I've picked up from watching streamers and watching some of the pros and some tournaments and such. So I will walk through some of that here shortly. First off, I'm gonna go knock down this monstrosity over here. Creative mode, for whatever reason, has a limited amount of bandwidth, if you will, so you can't build unlimitedly. It'll start to use up all the memory. Which makes sense, because it probably takes a pretty decent amount to store a lot of this stuff. Okay. There, that should just about do it. And cool. Just keep them kind of closer to the ground at least. So, yep. Alright, cool. So, first and foremost, what I usually do when I get into creative mode is the term people use that is cranking 90s. So, in case you weren't aware, it's basically this, except, ooh, man, I haven't done this in a minute. Hello. Let me restart this guy. Sort this out. Alright, cool. So you got your start here. And then you go up this direction. And this is what we call a Harry Potter, because I put myself under a ramp. Rusty on the 90s. So, essentially what you're... manually... Not mantling can really mess you up. I'll just restart it here. So, you want to go up 90 degrees. and just keep doing this up and up and up and up and up. And this is what gives you not only height on your opponents typically, but building all sides of the boxes gives you a really sturdy build. So if somebody starts shooting the base of the build, you can typically find them and shoot them before they can break it all down. So let me restart this real quick here. Oh, I'm at the base, aren't I? Alright, so an important part of 90s is, I guess even dialing it back even further than 90s, is this right here is the strong ramp strategy. So if you want to get height on somebody, then doing 3 strong ramps again gives you a stronger build, so usually by the time someone starts shooting the base of it, you can shoot them. I definitely can and do use this one somewhat often in game. It's not a very difficult one, at least when you're on controller. It's just let's see, what, right bumper and then left trigger, right trigger. So right bumper, left trigger, right trigger. Just hit them all kind of in series. I don't think you can slide in. Yeah, you can't slide in creative either. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, anyway, so there's the strong ramp, and you definitely kind of use that concept in 90s. All right, let me just see if I can rip some here. Oh, I'm lagging. Hello. I don't think I technically do true 90s because I don't build a full box every turn. I definitely leave one side open, but honestly that'll pretty much accomplish the same goal, and it's far easier to execute, so I try not to get too caught up in that. How did I get a wall down here? Wait for all this to blow up. Alright. Very, very easy to miss. I mean, once you get really, really good at them, you can do what they call walking 90s, which I am not near good enough to do that. And it's pretty much if you just walk at the edge corner here, you can then do this and that. Yeah, see, I always mess it up because I end up building myself under a ramp. But that's what these tests are for. Alright, so I'll probably do a little bit more 90 work here in a minute, because that is, it's not necessary, but man is it helpful if you can execute it with like muscle memory. What I really honestly use a lot of nowadays is this, which is tunneling, and I guess I'll start from scratch here, maybe over this direction. I really wish you could like sprint and slide and stuff in creative. Yeah, so tunneling is let me get to a point where I can. The tunneling is usually like you got a box here, you run over here, you build another one on the edge, build another one. People use this a lot towards end game to get into the storms or into the zone, out of the storm. But you pretty much just box, edit a wall out, make another box. So by a couple of tries here, you've kind of got a little bit of room to move. You can close these up if you know, somebody starts breaking into one of the other sides. But these wall edits here are super important to be able to kind of execute and do quickly, because if you're trying to either run from players or run from the storm, you got to be quick with it. Yeah, like I said, this is one that's not too difficult, and I definitely utilize a fair amount. This, you guys have probably seen me do this trick before, just this little cone peak Get a ramp down. You edit one corner out. At the top of the ramp, you can edit the cone and kind of look out at the top. I don't know whether it's a glitch or whether it's just something that happened accidentally that they never changed, but it's kind of neat, kind of nifty. Good to be able to kind of get a lay of the land before you go pushing somebody. Yeah, this is a lot of what I end up doing in creative mode, is just messing around with builds, messing around with edits. Higher level people, this is all second nature, so in order to kind of keep up, sometimes it has to be second nature for you. Let's see here. I try to do an alert. I don't know if this did an alert or not about the live stream. Let's see. Schedule. My channel. Yeah, whatever. I think it did. Let's see, I'm gonna knock this down. Another thing I did a lot of there for a while is, yeah, it looks like over in this area, is cone editing. So you can edit cones in really interesting ways, and it is a pretty tough, you know, part of the game. But I mean, you can manipulate cones to kind of protect yourself. Here, see, I can kind of make it chase around me, so I'm always protected. You can use it to kind of look out over here, and then you can take it back. A lot of the time, if I'm like at the top of a building, and we'll say this is the top of a building, I am going to do one more level, so it is actually the top of the building. Yeah, so a lot of the time, what I end up doing is doing this. And here you can use these three, oh, hello, those 3 blocks on every side to give yourself kind of like a nice little dome almost. So now I can look and see at all sides. I can also kind of sink back into the middle, maybe even kick some of these out and hide if I start getting shot or need to heal or whatever. So definitely dig the cone editing, and a lot of the time I just end up doing some of these repetitive motions. Pick one, kick it up, kick it down. At least on controller, this is pretty necessary to do this practice stuff, because us controller players are not gifted in the way of building and editing typically. Everyone loves to complain about the controller players, but when you boil it down, controller players have a shooting advantage. Mouse and keyboard have a building and editing advantage, so it doesn't end up being all that different. Right. These all back. Now, when it comes to box fighting in particular, I see even being able to just get quickly into one of your old builds, getting those corner edits. They don't seem that difficult, but you're getting shot at, you're freaking out. They're not necessarily the easiest thing to just pull out of your hat. Alright, so box fighting. A couple of the things that everybody always talks about with box fighting is, first off, you want a full box including a cone on your ceiling. Otherwise it's easier for people to break down on top of you. But if you've got a shotgun, let's say, and somebody is over here in this box, the easy way to fight is, you know, click out one edit square, you kind of run around a little bit, confirm it, pop them, and edit it back. Again, another one of those things that's very, very difficult to execute in the middle of a fight. But you can play a little bit of games with them sometimes. You know, edit 2 windows, pop them out of one or the other, edit it back, edit the middle. This is something that, again, I can do very easily in creative, but in the middle of a fight, there's no chance that I typically will bust this out. I might bust out a corner edit and try to get up on, you know, another edge or get behind somebody over here or something like that. But windows, that'll be something that I, again, work on over the next little chunk of time. The more Wednesdays I do, this is a couple hours of free practice that I'm getting. So someday. But anyways, so full box, let's say. The most popular and supposedly the most effective box fight move is what they call the peanut butter. I have no clue as to why they call it the peanut butter, but it's editing out this square or those couple of boxes right there to give you a diagonal wall. And supposedly it's easiest because your gun is on your right side or something, and you can jump up and hit people like this and sink back down behind the build. Don't fully understand it, but I do know that that's what the pros talk about as being the most effective. The most effective box fight edit. Another thing that a lot of folks talk about and do is, let's say you've got this. You've got your cone on the other side here. You can edit this, edit that, and then edit like these over here. If you want to trap them over in the other corner, then of course, if you can actually hit the cone, you can edit it back down, edit these, edit that back here. So there's a lot of manipulation you can do. I could cut in half. Interesting. All right. That makes sense. I dig it. Yeah, super effective build fight move that I have yet to execute in a live match. Oh, man. So yeah, again, this is just type of shit that I do if I'm trying to kill time, or when I was trying to get better at building and editing originally. Getting in here and just messing around is the way to go. Because until you can do it muscle memory style and you don't have to think about it, you're never going to be able to do it in the middle of a fight. Let's see, what's another one? I'm going to hit a couple of 90s really quick, and I think I can show some, yeah. Oop, definitely did it again. Alright, I'm going to go back and I need to be able to hit it better. Definitely love being able to edit and break things down too. It's a helpful move. Dang it. Well, again, not the prettiest 90s, but at the end of the day, I've got some pretty good elevation and a pretty good amount of time here. Good vantage point, etc. Let's see. Okay, so what I was going to show that just reminded me a second ago. So I'm going to come down here just a little bit. So let's say that there's a guy box fighting me from over here, and as of right now, he's got high ground on me, right? So I'm going to full box here. He's got high ground. Best way to kind of counter that sometimes is if you corner edit out here and do that. You do a ramp and a wall up, or excuse me, a ramp, so a ramp and a floor, a ramp floor wall, I suppose. So strong ramp, I think is what the term is. Do a strong ramp up, get to the top here, you jump and immediately do another strong ramp. And now, hopefully, unless he's a Bob the Turbo Builder, you've maybe got a chance at regaining some of your lost high ground. I definitely can and have executed that one in game. It's one that I've recently kind of gotten more comfortable with. Through here to knock this out. What's this connected to? This is another one too. So if I'm doing this little peek trick, looking out here, and I see or hear somebody behind me, you can edit this cone up, edit it back down if you're standing on the edge of that box, and now you're up on top of the build. Which again is another one, and see here you can drop yourself back down in. Somehow you just phase through your builds basically if you manipulate them, and they move enough on one side or the other of you. Ice cream. I'm not actually familiar with what that is. So looks like I got some investigating to do. Alright, there we go. So, full boxes. Back in action. Knock these down. Edit those out. Break that down. But yeah, alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of this. I'm already feeling a little bit more confident doing this. Alright, cool. So, back on the high ground. Supposedly, the best way to do that little ramp strategy or the double ramp is honestly if you get this and then you get a ramp above you. I think there's a way to, yeah, so you can get a ramp above you and then you can do a double ramp. It's like a ramp tunnel, and then here at the top you can do a thick one. It's definitely a little difficult to catch this ramp I'm standing on right here from that angle because you're like looking straight up, but once you catch the first one, usually the rest of them get a lot easier. Alright, let me see if I can do this again. Strong ramp. And really, I should be hitting these with strong ramps here. But the key here is this. Get to the top of the ramp, you 180, and you don't do that. You gotta get far enough on the other side that you don't do exactly what I just did. But if you get to the top of the last ramp in the chain, and you can jump in 180 and immediately build another strong ramp, now you've usually got a decent amount of elevation, and strong ramps giving you a decent amount of protection just with durability and whatnot. This and this. Yeah, maybe that top ramp isn't that hard to execute. I need to start trying that more. Shoot. I did it twice. I think I can hit this from below. Yeah. There we go. Another thing I hate about creative mode is if you hit Y, it goes to the stupid cell phone thing, and I'm used to hitting Y and it going back to my gun. But it's what it is. Alright. So there's kind of some aerial box fighting stuff. That again, the whole reason I'm doing this is because I need to get better at this, otherwise I'm not going to be able to compete with these 12-year-olds. Oh man. Shooting wise, I got it locked, but build and editing fight stuff is certainly a lot to digest, and even more to get to the point where it's muscle memory. I see here a lot of the time people will do something like this to get up onto another ledge. That's why the cones are really, really easy. They're probably easier to manipulate than the ramps, honestly, because the ramps have this middle, you know, that's both of them, where you can do the individual staircases. And like trying to hit one of these with that little sliver in the middle of an exchange is really not easy. But something else that I learned a pretty decent amount of the way into learning, building, and editing fighting, I thought this was the longer one, is this. So let's say you've got a window open over here. If you edit this, you can reset and then edit and then reconfirm, so you've now flipped this window from here to here without going back to this and then doing it like this. So instead of this, you can have, not that either. Instead of one window, you're over here, reset the build, edit this window, you can have that, where it flips automatically. What you get is something that ain't easy. It ain't easy to do in the heat of the moment. What'd you miss? Brian, doing all creative and Rocket League training modes today, so I'm just doing build editing, box fighting, practice type stuff. Mostly to just get better myself. I think there are possibly some newer Fortnite players out there that might learn a thing or two from some of this, so. Alright. I'm gonna go back to doing some aerial stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's relevant. One thing that I do think is interesting is once you learn 90s one direction or the other, like there's no way I could go in and try to do them to the left. Alright, so I'm up here. That's what I was going to try to do, is hit that one. Stupid cell phone. Screw me up. Alright. Over here. So it breaks. I've never tried waterfalling. I may give that a shot here. So obviously, just conceptually with building and editing in Fortnite, one of the biggest risks that you run is the higher you get, the higher the fall damage. Once you get to a certain height, you could go night-night if you take, if somebody knocks your builds out and you take fall damage. Oh, hello. I don't know why it just glitched me out. I'm just gonna get back up here like this, so I don't want to have to break that down and rebuild it. Okay. So I guess it would probably be that. Okay. This, I wanted to do floor cone, floor cone, floor cone. So strong floor here, again just harder to shoot out. Waterfalling is building a wall while you're falling all the way down and then putting a floor under you. So like this. Yeah, I couldn't get the floor in. Close-ish. I'm just gonna do this. I will edit this out. Oop. That one. Alright, so I'll wall all the way down, and then floor, which is right bumper. So we want this. There. And I hit left bumper. I guess they're both the right trigger, at least for me. Okay. Nice. Not too terribly difficult. That's a really good way to get down off of a build and not risk fall damage. What's up? What's up, Dev? What's up, Dev? Alright, so we'll knock all this nonsense down. That was honestly a lot easier than it looks. Figured it was a bit more difficult than that. Alright, I'm gonna get in here and try to get peanut butter in a couple times. Supposedly it's not an easy one for whatever reason. Doesn't seem too much more difficult than like a bottom corner one. Gotta get it down. So some interesting ones. Just on the wall editing side of things. In case this is new to anyone. You can do that's like a T edit. And it gives you a short wall with a door. You can do this one for an archway. The real tryhards, when they're tunneling, will hit you with an archway. And I'm like, yo, you're nuts if you're like executing that while you're running and building builds. Like, it'll be something like this. Let's see. So they've got this started. They'll be running through here, hit an archway, and then boom, they're back to another box, and then they're onto a corner. I'm like, you guys do something else at the time. But they're kind of cool, at least. Let's see here. It's so much easier to break aerial builds than it is to break the ones on the ground, because nothing will fall together. I'm just going to leave all that there. It ain't that deep. Let's see. B is right. Where's the camera at? Oh, what? Does it not show camera in creative? Live stream, microphone, camera. Maybe it doesn't show camera in creative. Because I just went and activated it on my... Huh. Good to know. Hello. We don't want to do that. Let's do this. Camera. Nah, it's got a red light on it. Who knows? It'll probably come back in whenever I go to... I literally did not even notice that. If and when I go to Rocket League. As it is this. These little sideways walkways. Huh. I wonder if that's in the settings or something like that. Input. Very interesting. Weird. Alright, well I may not do a whole ton of creative then, if that's the case. Especially because it's annoying that you can't sprint or mantle or hit the jump button twice without flying through the air. That is very strange. Brian, can you see if online Fortnite restricts cameras in creative mode, if you don't mind? Crap. Sound of ice. Oh yeah, your boy's definitely, he's got a beverage over here next to him, but that ain't hiding that. Ain't no cops on my stream, and if there are, I'm a legal age adult. And getting that swing to the top right. Man. My lag is affecting some of this. And now I'm on top of the world. Yeah, it really honestly is pretty crazy how quickly you can gain elevation if you're cranking 90s. Like the kids. Yeah, no, I definitely knew that about the dashboard. That's why I was like, oh shoot, immediately when I did that. Okay, main stream. More options. Let's see here. Party audio. Maybe it's just on Xbox then. I know I definitely have seen like Ninja and them do creative and have face cam on, but you know, of course that's computer playing. Ah, shoot, I was trying to go for a 180 there. Dang it! I want this. Edit that back. Oh, not exactly what I was going for. Definitely not what I was going for. Alright, let's start. That's weird. $40 deep, huh? Time flies when you're having fun trying to be a sweat in creative mode. I really wish you could sprint. Alright, well, if it doesn't have cam here in this mode, let me try going back to the lobby. And if it has cam in the lobby, then I will try to rock a couple games or something. Because I think it had cam right when I first fired her up. It does not. Nothing like a little technical difficulties. Alright, let me try to turn the camera off. Go back out, and then I will turn the camera on. Okay. That did not work either. I'm gonna do camera off. Unplug this guy. Sorry, bud. You're misbehaving. try it again here. Okay. It says no camera plugged in. Fantastic. Oh yeah. Okay. Plug in a webcam. But I already did that. Could probably try one of the back ports instead of this front one. I was honestly curious if the front port would even work. Surprised it has as well as it has. You can do it. Alright, well, until this wants to cooperate, I'll go back into creative and at least do something. Let's see, I'll do camera. Okay, there it goes, maybe. At least it says the light is on again. Hey! There he is! Back like the McRib, baby! Alright, we'll go back to the lobby. Run a couple games and go over to Rocket League. It's weird. Nothing like the old turn it off and turn it back on again, eh? Alright, we'll do this. And this. And we'll get dumped on for a couple games and go over to Rocket League. The McRip. That's what we call it now. The McRip. I wonder which other ones of these are not. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, right. Now, devs, so supposedly they're discontinuing the McRib. Or they maybe already have. I think Sam has the details on that, but that's why I'm calling it the McRib. Yeah, dude, give me a crown. Maybe I can steal one from one of these goons in here. Alright, so I'm going to try to implement some of those build tactics that I was just practicing, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, my swing. Am I hot? I'll go over here. Anybody want to jump with me? Yeah, dude. Rocking the crown from the last sesh. Oh, goodness me. I completely forgot our theme for today. I was talking about build strategies this whole time. So the theme I wanted to rock today is balance. So a lot of the Wednesday topics will be a lot more relaxed. They're not going to be competitive related or business related or finance related. It kind of is just going to be like more general life stuff, more mental health-ish related. And I think balance is probably one of the most relevant ones, for me at least, in what I've tried to do in daily life, and I think it's some pretty important stuff. And what I mean by balance is in everything, make sure you don't kind of sway too far one side or the other. I think that a great example of that is finding balance between, let's say, your friends and a relationship, right? So relationships are important. Oh, Whoa. I completely pulled up my inventory menu in the middle of that. But if that's all that you do and that's what you're consumed by, then it can be unhealthy. And same thing with, you know, you're in a relationship if you spend all your time with your friends. It can very, very easily hurt your relationship, so finding balance on that is important. I think one that I've tried to work on and adjust here recently is the balance between spending and saving. So for a long time in my early 20s, I was saving a lot of money, saving, skipped out on a lot of vacations with friends or buying stuff that I probably could have in order to save money, which was great for my early 20s finances, but at the same time, as my father says, life costs money. So if you want to enjoy life and have a good time, sometimes you gotta spend money. You're sick? Yeah, you're sick, alright. You're a sick man. But yeah, so I think that's something big that, you know, a lot of people are really concerned with their futures and they want to set themselves right, which is, those are all good things. But I think you can do yourself a disservice taking that too far. Because, I mean, shoot, next thing you know, you could be 35 and have all the money in the world, and you could be making 160 grand a year, and you're like, what? I didn't need all this extra money. Now I have more than I could even imagine, and you missed out on your early 20s and doing a lot of fun things. So, got to be balanced on both directions, of course. If you're spending too much and not saving enough, that's certainly going to be detrimental. But finding that 50-50 balance is super important. I think, like I was talking about on the theme for Monday, which was constructive criticism. At one point in that stream, I said something about being your own #1 critic and your own #1 cheerleader at all times. That was kind of a hint to this theme, was if you're too critical of yourself, you're going to hurt your attitude. It's going to show in your performance. You're going to get frustrated easier and be, you know, a bit too aggressive towards yourself. So finding that balance between criticism and encouragement will give you that sweet spot of the quickest and most successful progress. Same thing again on the other end is if you're too easy on yourself and I'm not really feeling it today, you know, I'm going to give myself grace and I'm not going to practice today or not going to work out today. If you literally aren't doing whatever you're supposed to be doing because you don't feel like it or because you're tired or whatever, you start to lean too far onto the encouragement and kind of, you know, giving yourself grace side of it, and again, you're going to harm your progress. So definitely important, especially in a competitive setting, to find balance of find the right balance of being hard on yourself and also taking it. Definitely a real player. Oh, hello there. Oh, double hello there. Alright, that will certainly come in handy. As will these. Actually, use the 6. And that should do for now. Move this guy. Front. Quick draw, McGraw. Yeah. Unnecessary rocket? Nah. This guy's not a little working. Where'd my rocket go? What just happened? Vanished into thin air is what it did. Interesting. Shooting blanks over here. That ain't good. No, we don't want that. It's not in that spot. Okay. That up a little bit. Breach. Mindset is indeed everything. Alright, yep. Vehicle related. Both of them. That's what I wanted. Might as well pop this guy. Yeah, I think balance, especially regarding budget, is obviously very much an individual. Most of them are, but some of those other ones, like the friend relationship thing, those I think are a bit more universal. Finance thing, that's a bit more individual. On like, some people have things they want to accomplish, or if you're saving to buy a house or something like that. I mean, would never encourage somebody to go on a spending bender. They've got things that they're actually working towards, but if you're fairly comfortable in whatever setting you're in, I think that it's usually not only very accomplishable to have balance, but very important. I mean, I've heard stuff like that from folks older than me, where you know they have some sort of regret that they hold to their youth, and I certainly do not plan on having the same thing. Yeah, I thought I saw splashes in there. Heal. This guy up here. Might as well just get this free XP. The new shield, the Guardian shield, that's what it's called. I didn't know what it's called until now. I have no interest in testing that bad boy out. Ooh, there was a drop. Oh, man. Drink and drive, kids. I bet you all of this. Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet you all of them are restricted. I'd really like to know what happened to that one rocket that I fired. I think legend has it that it's still sailing off into the sunset. Dang, this was far. Glad I got it. Dude there. Alright. Better shape now. Leave him here. Smack one of these guys real quick. And we're off. Stop over here and get bricked up real quick. I don't believe any of the 3 players that I've killed thus far have been a real player. Dang, I only missed one of those. Oh, these are dog shit as well. Ditto. I think for solos at least, this gun is really, really solid. Because it's pretty rare that you're going to be able to just pick someone off without them boxing or getting, you know, kill's going to get stolen by somebody else. Almost inevitably. God, these all suck. Just gonna do this one. You have a key as well. I'm not doing either of those. Any of those, rather. All right, we got 23 left. Let's see. Decent inventory. Farming brick while there's still. $490, that should do it. Well, might as well. Okay. 530. That'll certainly do it. It's pretty rare that I end up getting a chance to actually use more than 150 or 200 builds in a fight anyway, so it's good to have a cushion, but it ain't that deep. It's been like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes since I've even seen another player besides the guy I drove past. Somebody over there. So another really important balance-related concept, I would say, is the balance between, like in a work setting, like being a hard-ass boss and kind of being more of a nice laid-back buddy-buddy type of boss. I think, again, anytime if you're a manager, you lean too far one way or the other, you're either going to end up with lazier employees than you should have, or pissed off employees that are tired of hearing from you. So I try to just keep balance in mind in pretty much everything, and just have a radar up for if something's not going well, or if I'm not excited about something, or if I'm not progressing in something. Take a step back and take inventory of, is this a balanced, what do they call those? The little old school weighing table things. There's a phrase for them, but anyways, take inventory of where the tables are at. And adjust as needed, of course. But it really does play into a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of the time if folks are frustrated or venting to me or whatever, my outside perspective, if I know them well enough, I'm like, yeah, no kidding, because you're out of balance. You're not spending any time with your friends, or not spending any time with your significant other, one way or the other, you know, so I feel like it's pretty easy to pick up and diagnose if you have your radar on for it. Hello? It's a very interesting loadout, and I really would like to fight somebody with this loadout. Apparently that's not on the menu. Alright, here goes. Strong ramps. Oh, couldn't get up there on the 90. I see ya. I'm gonna flip this ramp because that guy's shooting me from that direction. Yeah, of course everybody has a hammer. Well, ain't gonna be landing any rockets on them. See if I can, yep, grab this. Yeah, buddy. Oh, he's whited. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey, if you want to watch a good player, go watch this TTV Eddie XX guy, apparently. Jeez. Shouldn't have had my back exposed. That is the lesson learned from there. Alright, cool. So it's 7 o'clock. Done a full hour on Fortnite. I'm going to pop over to Rocket League here. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, I know the camera was off. I turned it off on purpose so it wasn't just an empty chair. Alright. Get in here. Hit some dingas. Gonna turn my volume up. Still up. Definitely want to get a game or two in after a bit of practice on this. Alright, so the stuff like in comparison to what I practice in Fortnite that I practice in training. I think first and foremost, easiest way to get used to this game is just knocking the ball around. Getting used to... Oh, I just realized I'm playing with my Elite controller. I need to change that really quick. 2 segundos. Sweet. That is much smoother. Cannot handle the sensitivity on that controller for some reason. So, again, first and foremost, easiest way in Rocket League is to just knock the ball around. You're not trying to score goals. You're just hitting the ball, getting used to the car. Hit it up on the wall a little bit, maybe dribble a little. Stops and turns and all that. But once I'm usually feeling halfway decent, I'm trying to hit these wall shots. Alright, wasn't too shabby for the first one. But for those, you want to make sure, first off, that the ball is rolling flat with the wall. You hit it from the wall, so you don't really need to jump unless it's in the perfect place, and then you jump right when you hit the ball. But I'm trying to usually hit these because they're a great way to practice aerials, and once you're halfway decent at the game, people are going to be trying to hit aerials on you all the time. And they're going to be blocking, and they're really easy ground shots and whatnot. So I'll usually try to just slowly dribble over here, pop them up, at least get 1 or 2 touches. Even if I'm not scoring a goal, I'm like trying to visualize being in a game, and you at least want the ball in the center. So if you can get a center pass, oh boy, whiff there. That's what I'm trying to not do. This type of practice helps me not do that more often in game. Oh. Try one from back here. Again, just a second touch on it. Sometimes it's going to throw it off of a defender. Or we can do some midfield aerial stuff if I could control the car a little bit better. So I'll do a lot of those wall aerial shots. I'll do a lot of this, just trying to dribble and keep it close to me and stay on the ground. Usually for dribbling, I will actually try to score if I can get it right. This, you know, the side power shots, those are good to practice. Yep, that to bounce up right. So you just want to get used to all the things. That was close. Oh man, those are so tough. Do a little half flip here, get to control the ball back. Oh boy. Yeah, so I guess not even on the ball playing. One thing that I got a lot better at mid-career, I would say, is let's say that we're driving down trying to score on this goal and they take it in transition to try to get back. Doing this little half flip can really help you get positioned better to play defense if you're if the opponent's playing a transition game. So just all it is jump, tip backwards, and then rotate your car over from there. Super, super simple, super useful little trick. See, I'll hit a wall shot here. Try to dribble this a little. It's almost really cool, but not quite. So I'm gonna go for a more dribbly play this time. That's too far in front of me. At least that'd be a really good pass. Let's see this one. Nice, right into the dribble. Nice. And then end up being too shabby. Nice, cool. Flying through the air a bit. I really honestly need to do this 20 minutes every time I play it. It really does help you get the feel down. You're not botching. You're not fumbling the bag in the middle of your first game. Nice. not sliding like I thought I was. So back to our original concept, balance. I think another really important thing that I've kind of sunk into in the last couple of years in particular is the work-life balance. And I think that's a big one, especially now that in the last few years, we as employees have kind of won a little bit of ground in the whole employee-employer battle. So I'm certainly not a slacker, and I do plenty, but there's a point where when I'm done, I am done. And I'm now more okay with that than I used to be. I used to definitely overdo it a bit. Right out of college, I was a workaholic, working part-time and full-time, staying late at my full-time to then go to my part-time. And maybe that is important for a certain part of your life, and as I said earlier, that definitely helped me get very financially stable in my mid-20s, so that by my late 20s I just never had to care about money, and I still don't. So that's definitely nice, but it's just not sustainable for long term. So finding that nice work-life balance where you're also taking care of yourself is probably going to make you, in some ways, a better employee. You know, not necessarily a more output employee, but when you're happier, you undoubtedly do better work. See if I can catch this on the downswing. I couldn't. Not the direction I wanted to, at least. A wall pinch in here. Boom. Yep, this is what it's all about. It's just getting used to knocking the ball around and doing your thing. Hey, you too, Dev. Have a good one. Thanks for hopping on for a bit. All right. I don't feel that Rocket League is quite as complex as Fortnite, so I don't think it's going to be necessary to do 40 minutes of training, although I do want to try to hit one of these ceiling shots. Nice. So if you fall off the ceiling here, you can save your jump for eternity. And that's where I jumped right there at the last thing. That was actually pretty dope, although there's no way that would have ever held up in an actual game. But these are very, very touchy. Yeah, see, I jumped off the ceiling and I lost my jump. Close. I'll probably kick in a couple games here in a sec. May just do casual today, seeing as how competitive was a bloodbath for me on Monday. Let's do it. I think that's enough knocking the ball around. All right. Some casual threes. We got some bots in the chat. What's up, bots? Or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't need to be hating on my viewers. Maybe not. Ooh. That's a block. Ooh, and that's a block for me. Boost desperately. You got it, buddy. Oh, get down to the ground. Oh, wow. Hello. Ceiling corner. Might be able to get this off the rebound. Be there. Nice. Let's go. Alright, I'm gonna kick camera off to give you all a little bit more viewing on the screen. You guys know what I look like anyways. Ooh. I thought our teammate was over there. Double touch. He literally just swiped that boost from me. It's depressing. What are you doing, bro? That's terrifying. Alright, cool. Camera's a double-edged sword, kind of blocks some of the view. Obviously, it adds to it a little bit, but leave it off a little bit. It's just a Wednesday chill day. We chilling. Ooh, I caught that. Nice. I should not have done that. Give me that. Ooh, wow, what a save. And right back to a goal for them. Lovely. So another one I wanted to bring up on the balance topic is and this would be a great lesson for me to learn in competitive gaming, is the balance between tactics and aggression. As I have said before, I am a very aggressive player. I go for the highlight reel clips, and a lot of the time will make really, really silly mistakes, as many of my gaming friends know, and botch games that I, should have won, or botch fights that I should have won just because I was going for something silly. And same thing for either way. I mean, if you're not aggressive enough, a lot of the time, in Fortnite in particular, dudes that are getting a lot of kills are typically stacked on ammo and stacked on materials for building, or have likely fully upgraded guns. So you've got to be aggressive to a certain point. And same thing with Rocket League, is if you're not being aggressive enough, it's about, in any type of an arena game like this, it's you scoring more points than the other team. So even if you play perfect or almost perfect defense and they get one goal in and you haven't pushed and played any offense, then you're gonna lose. Go in. Let's go, baby. I don't even know how that just happened. Great accidental pinch. Oh yeah, I'm up here for that all day long. Good hit. Grab this boost. I really wish that I was closer for that, and I would have had it. Ooh. he's got a plan for that. So yeah, I am typically out of balance when it comes to tactics and aggression. And that's definitely something for me to work on. Let's say. Although I will say one of the reasons that I am so aggressive in online gaming is that I think that you learn a lot more when you are aggressive. You know, especially early on in Rocket League, I was going for aerials that I had no business going for. But I think the more that I did that, the better that I got at it. You know, you screw up and you can kind of see like, okay, I was too far left or too far under the ball or too far above the ball or whatever. And I think you can learn from your mistakes in that regard. Let's see if I can get this up. Get under it enough. Back, he bumped me. Oh shoot. Got so turned around there. If he hadn't have bumped me, I could have done something with that. Ooh, get there! Let's go, baby! Let's go. Nice work, boys. That's what we like to see. Alright, yeah, cool. So since I don't think there's anybody in chat here, I'll keep going and doing some training. I was worried it was going to get a little boring, but honestly, that's kind of what I'm in the mood for, is just hanging out, goofing around, chit-chatting, so get back in here and do some more of this wild and crazy stuff. Oh, how did I get under that? That's crazy. Boom. Touch there. If that hadn't rolled up the wall, I did. Boom. Love it. So any more balance related matters? Let's see here. Ooh, whipped it. Nice. Pretty sure that covers the majority of what I wanted to talk about. Boom. Let's go. Got some really good topics lined up for these Wednesday midweek chill sessions, and definitely going to be trying to pull some clips of the monologues for other social platforms and whatnot. I think a lot of the other days of the week, like the Mondays and especially the Fridays, are going to be pretty packed with actual gameplay, and sometimes it's a little hard to monologue and focus on actually winning a game or hitting a play or something. So I definitely like the feel for these. Not to mention the fact that it's a Wednesday and I've been working, well, only 2 days this week, but gotta give the brain a little chill sometimes. Let's get a pass, boom. Try to go for another ceiling shot. land on it? That's one thing I mess up all the time with those, is you have to make sure that you're holding the slide button when you hit the ceiling, otherwise it'll stop you and kill all your forward momentum. But easier said than done. See if I can get a redirect. Sort of. Those wall redirects are insanity. Get there. See if I can play this forward. Get an aerial hit on it. Yep. Oh. Nice. Little keys. Little keys. Alright, sweet. We've about got an hour and a half deep here. I'm starving. I'm going to cut this a little early. We'll rock at least a full 2 hours on Friday doing some fun stuff. To wrap up the balance topic, you know, again, as I said earlier, I'll kick the camera on for this at least. Webcam back on. Nice. So as for the general, you know, balance discussion, as I said earlier, I think it's just really key to have a radar up for balance, as if something's not going the way that you want it to, kind of gauge the balance a little bit, see if you're tipped maybe one direction too far or the other. Definitely a good idea to have that radar, have it up at all times, be kind of taking inventory and trying to make sure that no matter what it is, you've got a balance on both sides of the field, you know, whether it's, again, your work life, your spending or saving, your aggression in a competitive setting, or your tactics and kind of slow playing in a competitive setting, you know, your friends versus your relationship. It's really important to kind of keep each side of those weighed evenly, to make sure that you're not tipping the scale one way or the other, because it can definitely throw things out of whack. So appreciate everybody checking it out tonight. As always, live streams available on, or replays available on YouTube. I was under the impression that they would be available through Twitch. I found out this week that they are only available for 7 days on Twitch. So at Winin-Gaming and more on YouTube for all the replays of the live streams. Hit them up anytime you're a little bored and looking for something in the background. But yeah, thanks so much again for tuning in, and I will be back on Friday with our first happy hour live stream, doing some fun/funny stuff. So you all have a good evening, and I'll see you on Friday. Talk to you soon.